Hello again. In this video I want to talk about some of the negatives of being an artist. This painting here is a failed experiment both in terms of the materials and subject matter, in my opinion. Now, being rejected is sadly a big part of an artist's life, regardless of the field of art one is working in. This involves rejections from galleries, publishers, record companies, rejections after auditions, etc. Since this is the case, I think it is healthy to try and have a positive outlook on the things that one can actually control themselves. There's a thing called the artist's curse, at least in the field of visual arts, where one can never really enjoy a painting or drawing or whatever work they've done because they can only see the mistakes and failures in them. I personally suffer from this quite a bit, and in a way, wording these things and forming these thoughts is a kind of therapy for me. So welcome to my personal mini therapy session, I guess. I think working on something for so long and looking at it very critically from all possible angles that come to mind is pretty much bound to lead to a headspace where those are the only things you focus on actually. Even if you objectively come to think that the painting is finished and the goal was achieved, it is sometimes hard to like it. A common thing I've heard people do after finishing a painting is they just rush to sell it or hide it in a cabinet so they don't have to look at it anymore. And not so surprisingly, once you get back to it after a long pause, you have a fresh look at the big picture, and more often than not, the initial thought is, hey, it's not that bad actually. Personally, I've tried to cut myself some slack in this regard lately and try to be more forgiving of myself. It requires a bit of a switch in mindset, as I'm currently testing out all sorts of materials like new surfaces and paints and mediums, as well as subject matter and approaches to painting itself. So it would be crazy to stay in a highly critical state of mind required to finish quote-unquote academic paintings when doing stuff like this, as I would likely be very much stuck in a single approach with certain materials if I wanted a perfect result at the end. Now, coming back to this painting, I think it sucks, to be frank. The subject was selected on a whim since it appealed to me for some reason. I snapped it off my feet in this weird lighting. As I discussed in the video with the weird green cow painting, I tried to let myself be more free in terms of what to paint. This is also part of the thing I'm trying to do right now, which is not creating perfect paintings but allowing myself to explore. In this case, it didn't really work out and left a bad taste in my mouth. The surface was alkyd primed wood and was super slippery and annoying to work with too. That, combined with feet requiring a bit of drawing and anatomy, etc., resulted in the whole experience being mostly just frustrating. And now to the therapy part. I think it's good to accept that not every painting can be a success, especially if you're experimenting. And experimentation is a key factor in finding what you like doing best. Even if the painting went horribly, in my opinion, I learned some things, and it's okay to get the urge of painting this weird image out of your system. Honestly, I was thinking I wouldn't post this as a video, but I think it's good to also show one's failures, to some extent at least, as I'm not trying to build some godlike image of a perfect artist, but rather be myself and share this stuff as a kind of blog to help out others who might be pondering on similar things. I still have to address one thing though. You do have to be critical of your own work, otherwise it will likely not reach the level that you hope it will. Check those drawing errors, value errors, color errors, edges, etc. Whatever is important to you in your painting. Just remember, you're not perfect and no one is. It's okay to make mistakes, they are what makes us human. I think it's important to accept that fact and be happy that there is usually some lesson in every mistake you make. So, to sum it up, I think there's enough negative stuff coming towards us for us to be overly self-critical. It's needed, but keep it at bay so it doesn't limit what you actually do. Alright, that's it for this one. A bit of real talk here, but I think it's a healthy dose, trying not to ramble too much at a time. So, thanks for watching and see you in the next one.